Alright, there we go. There we go. Now I can push it. Isn't it great that I can basically do this entire thing on my own? There we go. How good is that? Alright, so I'm just going to see if I can lock this up into place. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, yes! How good is that? How good is that? That's awesome. And just looking at it, all right, there we go. That just took such a long time. You can see what I've done. I've basically put masking tape all over my beautiful ceiling. Yeah, it's nuts. All of this masking tape. You can see I've basically put the masking tape over every single piece of furring channel where I want the magnets to go, and then onto the masking tape I've just got myself a black Nico pen and I've marked the width of the channel, the furring channel on the other side. So the whole idea now, I think you can see where I'm going with this, is we'll do one sheet at a time. We'll start with this one in the corner here, but I will basically loosen off this these blue framing, pieces of pine, so we can drop the ceiling again. But yeah, I'm going to drop that, first sheet down, face first onto the carpet. You can see through that sheet then, and you can basically just get your magnet and glue it directly in between those two lines, and you can't go wrong. So I think I've think I've got everything down right. This is a scary part when you have to glue stuff, especially epoxying stuff, because you can't unglue it. But I think I've done it right. I've been planning this for a long time. The other thing is, check this out. Can you see the red pieces of electrical tape there on the first couple of sheets? Well, they're basically, I've marked out where my safety lines are going to go. Each 3 meter by 1 meter sheet of this stuff has 6 safety lines. That's how many I've allocated per sheet, and they will just aid it in case it falls while you're watching a movie, in case it falls while you're putting it up. Yeah, it's just a safety thing, but I can't ever see that happening. That's not going to happen, not with my system. These magnets are incredibly strong. This stuff here is incredibly light and strong. Yeah, but the thing that I'm looking forward to with these safety lines is it just gives you that flexibility. You can kind of, you know, adjust your movements. It'll help you lift it to the ceiling. And hey, you can even drop it down and do maintenance to the other side if you ever, you know, want to do other things in the future, like, I don't know, add a second shooting star or something like that, which is probably what I'll do one day. But for now, I just want to get a couple of these sheets done. It's getting pretty late, and I want to get at least 2 done by the time I go to bed. All right, so let's just stop talking again and let's just start doing. Come on. Oh, come on. Alright, so what I thought I'd do is I'll just grab these magnets. Excuse me. So these are 10 of the rare earth magnets just pushed onto this post. And do you think I can get them off? No. Let me just actually set you there. Let me just grab a knife and see if I can wedge them off with a knife, because they're super strong. There we go. Now it's stuck to the knife. Alright, so let's bring you over here to our sheet. Now you can see this sheet here already has a bunch of magnets. This was months and months ago. I was just trialing this, I've said before, and I used a bunch of magnets out of a motor in a washing machine that I got at the dump. So yeah, I basically just double-sided taped them onto here using, yeah, obviously double-sided tape. And that worked quite well, to be honest with you. I'm obviously not going to be doing that as my final solution to getting these magnets on here, but it was a good temporary solution. So I'm definitely going to have to start pulling these off like so, and basically getting that double-sided tape off as well. So I'll do that before I stick this sheet up. But for now, let's open up one of these and I'll show you the rare earth magnets, if I haven't done so already. So like I said, these are 30 mil by 10 mil by 5 mil. Super strong. I had a friend over here the other day and he had 2 in his hand, and we were watching a movie on the big screen just here, and he kept playing with them, you know, and by the end of the movie he looked down and his hand was bleeding because he kept pinching them in between his skin, and they were just super strong. So let me just get one of these off like that. Now you guys probably can't see this, but I can still see it. You can see through here. There is definitely a mark on there. You can see the 2 marks where the thickness of the fairing channel is. I'm just going to epoxy one of these basically in the center there. So that's the plan. Alright, so I'm just going to set you up somewhere. I'm not going to do too much talking, but I'm just going to get started. Okay, so there we go. It's not the prettiest job I've ever done, but they are actually glued on. It was actually a little bit more difficult to see through this stuff than I originally thought, but I could still see the marks just faintly. Occasionally I had to look underneath and just make sure that I was, you know, looking at the right line and transferring it onto the top here. But it was all good in the end. As you can see, you might be able to see some of these look like the magnet is just offset to one side a little bit more, and that's because I'm going to be kind of pushing this over that way, probably 5 mil, I reckon, 5 mil or 7 mil or so, because I just want to take up a bit more of a gap that I have over on that side. So I'm just kind of compensating as I go. So should be all good. In fact, a lot of these are already dry. I've been going for probably, I don't know, 50 minutes maybe, and yeah, the first maybe half a dozen that I put down, seriously, I can't get them up even now. So they're going to be going off. So give us probably another hour, and I reckon this will be ready to lift up, and we'll see how magnetic it is. So let's look forward to that. Oh, listen, while we wait for that to go off, I want to show you something. Earlier I mentioned that there might be something else that I'd like to try and do to help make this a bit more magnetic, and this is what I was thinking. You see all of this stuff here? This is bracing. I found a full roll of this at the dump quite a while ago, and I kept a hold of it. What I was thinking, and I've actually tried this and it works great. We've got our fairing channel up the top. What I thought I might do is actually cut off a few long pieces like that. That's not too long. It just happens that it fits so nicely inside there. Now when you actually put the magnet underneath there, it becomes almost like it's twice as magnetic. It seriously is. So I plan on actually putting a bunch of this stuff. You know, I may even substitute some metal bar with this stuff. I may not even use this, but I might put a couple of pieces up there, maybe in the corners, so I can get an idea if it's how much more magnetic it is. But later on down the track, I may even use some flat bar, because seriously, these magnets, they're really magnetic when they're, you know, stuck to this fairing channel, but when you throw in a little bit more steel in there, it's full-on magnetic. Like if I get one of those rare earth magnets, and you saw over there, hang on, let me just get this gimbal working, you saw over there at that metal post, I can't even pull them off. I have to literally use a knife to kind of wedge underneath and get them off, or I have to slide them all the way across. That's actually, I think it's about 6 mil thick, that bar, but we'll see. It's all trial and error, but I thought that was a pretty good idea. It just makes it twice as magnetic, you know, and that's not a bad thing. Maybe I'll wait and put this up first and see just how magnetic it is without it. I guess there could be a point where it's too magnetic and it's just really difficult to pull these panels off. I don't want that. There's got to be a sweet spot somewhere. So maybe I'll just hold off on that, but that's one of my little plans, things that I've come up with that seems to work well. So if we need it, it's there. Alright, so it's still a little bit tacky. It's probably been probably 2 hours easily since since I glued these down. Listen, I'm not going to connect them to the railing yet, the furring channel just yet. What I might do, I want to get it off the carpet so I can, you know, do a bit of cleaning, vacuuming, so forth. So what I thought I might do is actually just, you know, just slide it over those framing pieces like these ones are sitting up there, and I'll probably give it another hour and a half, and then I'll lift it up. But for you guys, it'll probably be in a couple of seconds. For me, a couple of hours. So that's the deal. I'm just going to lift that up now so you guys can watch that. This framing stuff is so good. Alright, now I don't want those magnets to come anywhere near that channel just yet, so I'll just offset it a bit. I think that should be fine. Alright, now I can vacuum. Hey, morning peoples, how are we? It's the next day, and it's a beautiful day. It's supposed to storm today, but you wouldn't think it. But yeah, well, last night I decided not to basically lift this sheet up and magnetize it to the furring channels above. I thought, listen, I'm just going to give it another 8 hours, and yeah, that's what I've done. They reckon 16 hours is how long it takes to cure. It's had more than 16 hours now, and it's rock solid, that epoxy stuff. So I'm very happy with that. But you might notice that the next sheet is gone, and that's because after I actually lifted this up, you just saw me do that. After I lifted that up, I watched a full movie, and about midnight I actually thought to myself, hey, it'd be stupid not actually pulling another sheet down and epoxying some of those magnets on there. At least when I wake up, it's virtually going to be ready to lift up as well. So I'd have 2 to do, which I now do, because last night I did just that. At about midnight, I pulled this sheet down and I glued the next lot of 12 magnets on. And man, it was so much quicker. I reckon this probably took me 20 minutes, 25 at the most. And that's including flipping the sheet over so that the masking tape was front up and actually going over those black marks a little bit harder so I could see through them. And like I said, making the pen marks actually go over onto the plastic as well, so you can see exactly where the magnets need to go. So that's a cool thing. That's ready to be lifted. So what I'm going to do now is this particular sheet here, the third sheet, I'm just going to pull this off and stick it to the side. That'll give us some wriggle room, and then I'm going to lift this one into place, and then I'm going to lift this one that's on the carpet up there as well, and see how we've gone. See how magnetic it's going to be, because man, this moment I've been dreaming of, been wanting to do this moment for easily over a year now, just to see how magnetic these sheets are going to be. I'm sure they're going to be fine, but you just never know. So let's stop talking and let's start doing. This stuff is so good. This is the best stuff to use for ceilings. I tell you what, it's so easy to handle. What other material could you do that to, you know, without the need of 2 people? That's nuts. Sure, you could probably definitely lift up foam on your own, but it's too fragile. It could probably snap in half. But anyway, let's get you up here. Now, there is a section of the cutout at the end that I want to make a little bit wider, so I'm just going to grab my angle grinder and quickly nick off the edge. So I need to take off. That way I can actually move this sheet this way a little bit more, which is what I wanted to do. Okay, are we ready? I'm going to start lifting. I am going to start lifting. So where can I position you guys so you can see everything? Just put that there. All right, wish me luck. Let's see if we can do this. First time. All right. Oh, feel the magnetism. Look at that. That's just this corner. Wow. All right. Oh, it takes a bit to pull it off too. Oh, man. Wow. That is magnetic. Well, that part's in. All right, so I just have to lift this back end up and slide it across. Whoa, look at that. Do you see how fast that snapped into place? Wow, that is definitely magnetic enough. In fact, I did want to probably pushed over a little. Oh, that is looking excellent. Just want to come over to, how are we looking at this end? I could probably push it up towards the back of the cinema a little bit. I don't know if I can, it's really magnetic. It's pretty strongly. Oh, there we go. Oh, I am very happy with this, guys. I am super stoked with how this has turned out, and the fact that I offset those magnets a little bit. Now that I've moved it over, sorry, I offset the magnets that way. Now that I've moved it over this way, they're dead center in the track, so that's excellent. Wow, awesome. Let me just have a look at this end again. Just want to fine tune this a little bit. We've still got it easily over half that thickness of the soffit second tier, and pretty happy with that. But listen, now that that's up there, let's stick up the second one. Wow, that was simple. How easy was that? Okay, number 2. I'm going to have to feed it over this again. Remember, once I've got my safety lines, I'll be just attaching my safety lines, then getting underneath it and raising it, lifting it just a little bit, 30 centimeters. But for now, this is a really easy way to do it. All right, so that's basically sitting up there. Hey, you guys, can you see what I'm doing? Actually, I have forgot about you. All right, that should be good enough. All right, let me just check this other camera. That should be okay. All right, let's get it up there. You know, the thing that the reason I'm doing this so early is so I can see if these edges line up. So if the edge of this one here lines up perfectly with the edge of this sheet here. So I can tell if I've leveled it okay, because if I haven't leveled it okay, I have to go in and start tweaking my furring channel. You know, the clips that are holding that, I have to tweak those a little bit. So that's the reason I'm doing this, because once I've got all of this you know, framing pine on the side to hold my cup and underlay up, or the plasterboard if I choose to put that down. Once they're on, I can't get to those clips. So that's the reason, I've explained that before, but you've probably forgotten. That's the reason I'm doing all this now. So let's see how we've gone. Okay, let's move this over. Pull this through. That's actually already magnetized. Oh, I think I need to get at the end and just push it. Okay, it's being stopped there. I just think that that anchor point for the front soffit is just jamming up against it, which it is. Alright, there we go. There we go. Now I can push it. Isn't it great that I can basically do this entire thing on my own? There we go. How good is that? Alright, so I'm just going to see if I can lock this up into place. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, yes! How good is that? How good is that? That's awesome. And just looking at it, it looks like it's exactly, it looks pretty level. It looks like it's, let me just get up there and feel these seams. Yeah, there's nothing I would change about that. I have actually done quite well as far as getting that pretty flush with the next sheet. Oh, that's just perfect. Wow. So just remember, in the future, there's certain things that you have to do when you do a Starfield ceiling using this stuff, because I guess this would act as a bit of a drum. Could you just imagine the fiber optics, the cables, all the all your fishing line type thing, with the bass and all of those vibrations that it might actually sound a bit like rice. I think I've mentioned that before. So what we're going to have to do is actually sandwich, put another, probably some cotton on top, and glue those down so you don't get any vibrations. But yeah, guys, that's looking amazing. Oh, wow. Very happy. In fact, I want to pull this over a little bit towards that way, because that's the whole idea. Let me just get up here and see if I can slide this across a bit. Yep, maybe a tad more. About there, I'd say. You just feel how that is so magnetic. And like I've said before, I'm going to grab some steel and some of that flat bracing steel that I showed you yesterday. And stick it up there as well, and that will make that magnetic. It actually doubles how magnetically attached it is. It'll actually make it so much more magnetic. Not that I need it, but it's always good to have it more magnetic, I guess. Let's just pull it across from the front here, I think. In fact, I don't know if I can. I think I'll have to pull it out and slice that like I did the first one just before. No, not on that end. Ah, that side I might need to. Don't mind me, I'm just talking to myself. Yeah, I'll definitely need to slice a bit off here. I wonder if I can do that while it's up there. Don't think so. In fact, I'm just going to put that back the way it was. All right, let me show you. What do you think? That is up there. These seams, these edge seams, that's what I was worried about. I just didn't want them to be, you know, at different levels, etc. But they're nice and flush with each other. And wow, what a difference. That is excellent. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see this without all that sticky tape. What do you think? Maybe we'll, I might try that now. Let's actually see if I can pull the sticky tape off without actually having to, without the ceiling completely falling down. If I can do that, we know we're on a winner, don't we? So, I think on the sides, it's probably going to come off unless I'm pulling straight down. Wow, look at that. Masking tape is on there. Wow, yep. So I'm doing a bit of downward force. So far so good. And the cool part is I can see exactly where my magnets are positioned. A couple of them come unstuck, but as soon as the masking tape's released, it just goes boom, straight back to the ceiling. But I'll tell you now, I'll be doing those safety lines sooner rather than later. And that's because what I think will happen is if you lose one end, it becomes unmagnetized. It's like a chain reaction. The weight of that will actually pull the next bit down and the next bit. So you're probably better off having some safety lines up there, you know, as soon as you can. Which I think I'm going to get this ceiling completely up first, and then what I'll do is I'll actually go through and with a drill and just drill through those red bits of sticky tape that I showed you yesterday, and just put a mark into the one of these the LVL channels above, and then that's where I'll screw it to. Wait till you see my safety lines. Interesting to see how we go with a bit of wind in this room with those doors open. You normally get a nice breeze through here. That's definitely not going to pull this stuff off. Oops, shit, I'm taking off the wrong, I'm taking off the wrong sheet. Let me just put those back. All right. Yeah, so what I might do is actually, I don't know if you guys need to see me do this. I'm just going to fine tune this a little bit now. I want to actually nick off a little bit on the edge right at the top there, so I can slide it over a bit, because this anchor point in the ceiling is actually preventing me from moving it over anymore. as well as here is also, so I might do this one as well. It won't take long. All right, so I'm just going to pull this down again, but look at that. In fact, before I do that, I'll give you another look. You can see right through there, the magnets. Nice and center. But yeah, oh, really happy with how this has turned out. I forgot to take that bit of tape off. But okay, so there you go, guys. I'm just going to plod along and do a few other things, and I'll bring you back a bit later on when I've probably, you know, done most of the sheets. At least put the magnets on, and we'll probably stick a few up. Okay, that's all I'm going to do with this sheet. I do need to do this. I haven't done this side, these last 4 on this edge on purpose, and that's because I'm actually going to replace, you can see how I did this edge, this half of the ceiling in segments, like that little segment up the top there and the one up the top there and these 2 over there. Well, I don't like that anymore. I'm going to replace them with full lengths. So you can see these full lengths. I'm actually going to replace those. Now, the reason I didn't use those originally is because I wanted to get the most out of my ceiling height as I could, and that meant taking basically going up into it's hard to explain, past the base of those joists, like lifting it up inside the cavity there. Remember, this deck was on angle. We have a fall of 1 in 100, so every 1 meter it, across, it falls down a centimeter. So yeah, so what I'm going to do with this new piece that I'm going to put up there, I'm actually just going to notch it out, and it should be right. Just notch out where the joists are, and just lift it up. So I think we should be okay. But that's the reason why I've done that. I don't think I'll put that in the vid, but you never know. Just let that go off and I'll start working on this piece of furring channel. Alright, here we go. I thought I'd quickly just show you this furring channel, how I've notched it out to accommodate those joists above. And this is, like I said earlier, so we can gain a bit of height from the floor to the ceiling. It's pretty difficult to explain how, but just trust me. But yeah, doing it this way, I think I only gain about 15 mil overall, but 15 mil's better than nothing. I know it's a bit of a stuff round, but I think it's worth it. I think my ceiling to floor is exactly 2.6 meters, which is 9 point something feet, or 9 feet, I'm not really sure. But anyway, I'm not going to show you me putting this up. It's just the same deal as putting up a normal piece of furring channel, but at least it can go up there and we don't have all of those, you know, daggy pieces, single little pieces up there. And hopefully, the reason I'm doing this is because I might put some more magnets in the center of where I've put these magnets here. And if I do that, then I'm going to need a full piece. I need these other ones to be full pieces. But anyway, we'll get back to it. Well, I thought I'd just open this, take a bit of footage of me opening this package. It is supposedly full of rare earth magnets, 50 of them. I don't know how they send these in the mail, because you'd think that they just get stuck to everything. I mean, this is it is very well, it's kind of wrapped in bubble wrap, but still there's some magnetism there. You'd think, yeah, it would get stuck to quite a few things. So what do you think? We open these up. Now these rare earth magnets are 30 mil by, hang on, what are they? 30 mil by 10 mil by 10 mil. Wow. Now this package here I think cost me about $70. I think I was paying, I think I'm paying about $15 for 10. Man, now the blade's getting stuck. Wow. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought there was yeah, no, I ordered 50. So there you go, 50 of them. So all up, I've probably used up over 100 and so magnets on my ceiling. They're so strong. Do you think I can pull them apart? No, you have to kind of slide them off like that. Look at that magnet. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to stick, like my ceilings, look, I'll show you. My ceiling is already stuck on the, sorry, I should say my polycarbonate sheeting is already stuck on my ceiling very nicely. That's all with magnets. Those blue bits of framing pine, they're not doing anything. That's just safety in case one falls down. They won't fall down, but I'll be putting some safety lines up there pretty soon. But yeah, I thought I'm going to put even more magnets on there just to be extra safe, just in case that subwoofer goes nuts and yeah, I don't think they're going to vibrate down. No, they definitely won't. But we'll put some safety lines on each one. I think we're going to put about 6 to 8 safety lines per sheet. But there you go. Alright guys, see ya.